Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we're talking about some planetary energies that will be affecting us for the next couple of years. Hi, my name is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman. I'm an intuitive psychic medium here in the Sugar Land area. That's just outside of Houston. I work with my angels and guides to assist my clients in many areas of their lives, to bring them special messages from loved ones who have passed, to dialogue with their angels for guidance into their own situation, or to assist them with their own psychic abilities. If you like my content, please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. That's right. Today we are talking about our Mars is conjunct with Chiron in the sign of Aries. And I'm going to explain all of this, but it's one of those, this isn't just like a one-time kind of thing. It may seem like that because it's only really in this conjunction for about 10 days, from June 15th, 2022 till June 25th, 2022. But we are going to have a lot of energy in flow, but it really doesn't come to the end until, you know what I'm saying? It's like, we have this again in 2 years. So it's going to kind of like this conjunction happens and then we have 2 years to react to it. And then it comes in again to kind of like, did you clear this up? Did you take care of all of this? So it's kind of some funky energy, but it's going to bring up a lot of things for a lot of people because Mars is so close to us. It's one of those, it's going to be kind of bringing up things in our personal life, in our personal areas, people close to us. And it's going to be bringing up stuff for them as well. So it's kind of like, okay, now we're all being triggered. What's going on? So let's talk about this so you can understand and take advantage of this energy. Mars and Chiron are one of the most intense Chiron transits there can be. Mars and Chiron both have cross purposes. Like one is pushing us, Mars is kind of pushing us to affirm like who we are ourselves and what do we want for ourselves, while Chiron is kind of like pushing us to feel at odds or inadequate of like, I'm not worthy of this, or I want something more for myself, but I don't know what it is, or I don't know how to get to it. So if Chiron is the path to get there, Mars conjunct Chiron will show us how to kind of make it across, kind of make this from one side of the bridge to the other side of the bridge. And kind of like, what do we want? What do we want to have in our lives? Where do we want to be? Who do we want to be? Who do we want to be with? All of these things are going to be coming up. Chiron's role is really all about like finding our wholeness, of accepting ourselves, our self-acceptance, kind of integrating those parts with the parts that kind of like appear to be at a cross purpose. If I want this for myself, if I want my own business, it's one of those, it could be at odds of what I want for my family. So I'm not going to have as much available time. So it feels like it's a cross purpose, but it really isn't, because there's ways to find things, kind of find your path through this. So Chiron is kind of the half man, half horse centurion. In this role, he's going to bring up kind of like being incompatible, kind of like, how would you match a horse with a human? That doesn't make any sense. And it's really kind of like our nature, kind of like our male, female bonding together. And we've talked about this in a couple of other videos as well. It's kind of like our divine feminine and our divine masculine coming together. Even though they seem like they're at odds, they're really not as far off as most people think. So it's kind of like bringing those in together. Let's see. Mars is the first planet to go full circle around the sun and the earth. And it's one of those, and its role is to get us out there, kind of like push us, kind of help us, kind of like our best version of me. Like, I want to be the best version of me. I don't want to be someone else's best version. I want to be the best me I can be. And that's kind of like pushing us into who we are. What could we do? What kind of, where do we want to go with this? And Mars is all about our path of pushing our comfort zone. Like, I'm really comfy and happy where I'm at, but it's one of those, maybe I would be happier if we kind of got out of this comfort zone or moved into a different energy. And we can kind of put these two together in society because we have like Jupiter and Saturn, which kind of like are further out, and they kind of hit us globally. When they're in retrograde or whatever sign they're in, they really affect us globally, where Mars really hits us at a personal level kind of energy. let's see, with Chiron conjunct Mars, Chiron will be at a point that we feel like we really require improving ourselves, and kind of where do we need to grow, or what do we have to learn to kind of get to the next level for us. Kind of, I need to do this inner work, kind of like I need to fix me, or I need to educate me, or I need to do a new class, or I need to do something differently. And so that's kind of the energy that's coming around in there. Perhaps it's, giving, you know what I'm saying, like of yourself differently. A lot of times people are afraid of public speaking. And so this could be a platform where you kind of like pushing yourself to get out of your comfort zone into like doing a presentation, or doing a seminar, or doing a video. Doing a video can be very scary at the beginning. So kind of pushing yourself to get out there and kind of like, what am I doing, or how am I like presenting myself in my world? And there's always good and bad feedback coming back from anything that you do on the internet. So it's just kind of like, that's kind of the way the world is. But knowing that it's one of those, this is what I was meant to do, or this is what I feel like I need to teach my world, is going to help with that. It's one of those feelings of awkwardness and kind of like, I'm not really sure, or kind of like, I don't know where to go with this, or I'm really afraid of this. And doing it anyway is going to bring kind of this really deep healing to you, and kind of what else is there out there for you. Kind of like, once you've broken one barrier, what else can I do? Where else can I go? And it's one of those, and a lot of people feel really uncomfortable when there's a lot of attention on them, because usually it's one of those like, I don't feel secure, and those deepest insecurities kind of like pop out for us. But it's one of those, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes maybe it's not going on the internet. Maybe it's doing a presentation for a small group at work, or maybe it's doing a presentation to your friends, something like that. Like, I think we should go on vacation here, and explaining why. That can really bring up a lot of healed feelings of just everybody's listening to you, everybody's intent on what you're talking about. And it's one of those, from going like, I'm insecure about this, to going, oh my gosh, I did really well. This can be a great bridge from one side to the other. Mars conjunct Chiron is kind of pushing us to live to our true potential. Not like, oh, I'm okay with what's happening, or I'm okay with this energy the way it is. It's one of those, no, pushing it. Where do we want to go? Where else do I want to move in my life? Or what else do I want to accomplish? These are kind of some great aspects to have for us, and kind of like, where do we want to go with this? Kind of stay with the what am I truly, meant to do in my life? What am I truly living in my life? And am I truly living the best life I possibly could? I think a lot of people kind of get stuck into something, and they're kind of like, I'm stuck in here. I've been doing this for so many years and I can't change. You can change it anytime. It's one of those, and the harder you think it's going to be, the harder it's going to be. But when you go, okay, I'm ready to do this, and I think everybody else is ready for this to happen, everything will fall into place the way it's meant to. It'll be really interesting kind of when you open up to all the possibilities of what you could do. I think really kind of one of those aspects kind of brings up is kind of like, not only who we are, but who we are meant to become. It's one of those, so many times people are like, oh, I was only meant to do this. And it's like, no, you have so much potential. All you have to do is lock into that and kind of really open up to that energy. I think the Chiron part of this can make us feel like aware of our weaknesses. Well, I'm not really strong about this, or insecurities, like I'm insecure about this, or I'm insecure about that. And that can kind of bring this up. But it's one of those, bringing those ideas forward kind of help us really in a lot of interesting ways, kind of get through our inadequacies, our kind of like, I want to do something, but I'm not sure what I want to do, or kind of like, I really want to move forward in this. And I want to really bring us to a healed state in this. It's one of those, this conjunction is really going to make us aware of what do we require in our lives? What is it that we require in our lives? And kind of where do we want to go with this? What's coming up next? So one of the things that's really important in this, I think sometimes when we have these really strong conjunctions that can really change our lives in just a blink of an eye, a lot of times what happens is that people look at things kind of from the wrong angle. So you may end up getting fired, or you may miss out on a promotion, or you may want a new position and it's not coming to you the way it should or it could, or I want to do it differently. And a lot of times it's really kind of showing you where your energy has been and not where it is right now. So keep that victim mentality or that victim thinking out. Instead of kind of feeling down, kind of feel grateful. Sometimes it's like, okay, so what else can I do with this? So many times people kind of feel like, okay, the universe has knocked me down and it'll take me so much time to get up. Well, it may take you a long time to get up, but sometimes like there's a good reason. I had a client that I want to say like 3 years ago, got let go from her company because things, energy was not doing well and that sort of thing. And so she was kind of like, so she was like all angry about it and upset about it. And I talked to her like 6 months afterwards, and I was like, so when did you get, let go? And she was like 6 months ago. And I was like, oh dear God, I feel like it's like last week. You're talking about it so much. And so we started really changing her thinking in what was going on and kind of changing her perspective. And it's kind of interesting. She changed everything. She decided to open up. She went to school. She opened up her own, I don't even know what to call it. She does facials. Sorry, I'm not really good at all those words, but she does facials now, and she loves what she does. And she's been doing it like for 2.5 years or so. And she loves what she's doing, and she's there for her family. And she's able to kind of set her own calendar, where before it was like 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, no matter what, and a lot of travel. There's no travel time. Literally, she works like 10 minutes from home. And so that's kind of like really kind of looking at this at a whole new reason. If there's a reason why you didn't leave your company or why you left the company, whatever it is, know that you're right where you're supposed to be. Look at all the possibilities. Don't just like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. When you look from that victim mentality, that's all you ever get is more victim mentality energy. I will say one of the reasons why we don't get what we want is because we're not there yet. We have to kind of feel personally worthy to get what's really our point, our side of things. This is really kind of like more about like the energy that we've had in the past instead of the energy that we really want in the future. So this is going to be a really interesting one. I will say get very clear about what you require in your life. Kind of something that is, I'm saying, if there's something that's limiting you, kind of let that go and kind of like, how can I grow around this, or how can I learn to get around this a little bit easier? If it's public speaking, doing something about it, like I said, even in small groups can kind of help you run through that a little bit easier. Even if it's not like, yay, I feel like it's a huge win, it could feel like a win nonetheless, which is a really good thing. And trying things that are kind of out of your comfort zone, skydiving, or going on a long trip, or traveling places that you've never been before, or traveling without a plan. I told a client of mine a couple of weeks ago that we very rarely have like hardcore plans when we leave, and she was like, I was like, try it. It's one of those, she was like, oh my gosh, that's way out of my comfort zone. That's what I'm talking about. Get out of your comfort zone, or give yourself like one day where you can do whatever you want on your vacation. You don't have any plans or anything else. Allow that to just happen, or allow things to come up the way they could or should. So let's kind of look at the 2-year cycle of the Mars Chiron cycle, kind of like, here we go. So this begins on June 25th, 2022, and June 15th, 2022, and then it's open for about 15 or 10 days, and it closes on June 25th, 2022. And then the other side of this opens up on May 29th, 2024. So we have just under 2 years to kind of work through this and kind of pushing ourselves, getting out of our comfort zone whenever possible, out for the next 2 years, and kind of pushing ourselves into where we want to be. And this is really kind of like one of those like requirements in your life. Don't settle for less, kind of like pushing yourself to be the best version of you. I never want to be another version of someone else. I just want to be the best Ruth I can be. And really the competition that I have to focus in on is how I was yesterday. As long as I feel like I'm a better Ruth today than I was yesterday, I'm all good. It's one of those, and it makes you feel better. Being in competition with someone else is not the right way to do it, because their hangups are not your hangups. Your issues are not their issues. And that can really make you feel like overwhelmed. let's do some angel cards and get us a little bit more information about all things Mars Chiron conjunct. And our first one is popping off is music. Getting into music. Now, a lot of people have fear of music, fear of making music. This is one that I totally get. I am not good at music. I'm not really good with the sounds and the tones and stuff like that. But if you've heard one of my meditations, you've heard me play my healing bowl, and I love doing that. My students love doing it. I love doing it. The meditations love it. And it's one of those, at first I was terrified. I was like, oh my gosh, what if everybody hates it? And everybody kind of loved it. So I tried and I won. Yay. Now I'm working on kind of like, I want to do that and then overlay that with another video of me doing my bells. And so now I'm making music in a crazy, weird way that I would have never done before. So allowing this to grow within me is really, really good. And it can be great for you as well. Next card, celebration. Celebrate every one of those little things that you get out of your comfort zone. I would have normally never done music. Cheers. Yay, I made it through. Cheers. I've done the singing bowl on many, many meditations now. And now I'm taking that to the next level. And so I'm going to do a singing bowl meditation. And then I'm going to add my bells onto there. So kind of my chimes of just like, how does that sound together? How does that feel together? That is an amazing answer. And it's just for me, but I want you to understand you can do the same thing. Where you challenge, where you kind of like, oh my gosh, this scares me. So do a part of it. Get it out there. Kind of get yourself out there. Spiritual growth. This is what it's all about, is kind of growing spiritually and really growing into what your life purpose is. So many times people are like, I think this is my life purpose, but it scares me. Good. Do it anyway. Do what you can. Do what you really, really want anyway, because that's really the fun part about it, is kind of letting that energy grow within you, and kind of that self-confidence. Every time you kind of break a barrier, that can be really, really good. Children, kind of what was your goal when you were a child? That can be a really great place to kind of start in your kind of getting out of your own comfort zone. And a lot of people are like, well, I wanted to be a fireman. Okay, so do something with that. Become a volunteer fireman, or if you can also become like a volunteer for them and just bring them like Kool-Aid or lemonade whenever they go out to a fire, that they're going to be there for a while, and kind of help them stay hydrated. So you don't have to necessarily go and fight the fire. You could go and support the firefighters. You could join it that way and kind of really enjoy that energy. Body care, taking care of you. You are going to get you through this, and kind of keep cheering yourself on. Please remember to be respectful of your energy and allow this to come forward. Allow this energy to come forward into what do you really want to come through. If you're beating yourself up, I'm coughing because I'm clearing that out myself. If you've been beating yourself up for a long time because you haven't done something, don't. Let it go. Fall in love with you. Romance. Fall in love with you and fall in love with your energy. And being afraid of things is okay. It's not okay to let it stop you. It's not okay. Keep going, and make sure that you keep in mind the Mars Chiron conjunction. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.